What's up, home team? Episode 3, James Day Off podcast, coming to you live from Lubbock, Texas. Let's get right into it, all right? Let's talk about today. But, before we get into today, just a little recap of last week. I'm pretty sure nobody listened to last week. But if you did, you know that I had the whole job interview for my, CDL job that I'm pursuing. I did get a job offer from that job, so, now I'm going through all the red tape, so to speak, before they can actually put you on. I started, they sent me the stuff for, my background check. I went and did a drug screen today, so that gets us back into today, but just to, brushing you up on last week's events, the interview and everything, I get, it did go well, and, like I said, we're going through the next steps to get me hired. They gave me the starting pay. They told me what the benefit, or to give me a benefits overview. They gave me the bonus structure. They give out 2 bonuses, which is pretty fucking fat, bro. But that's what you would expect from a worldwide organization / company. That they have good, not only a good payment structure, but incentive pay as well. So that shit's fat. I'm going through the process to get those going. The wheels are already turning. They said they got my background check done, and they got that bitch in today, so hopefully that went well. My drug screen should come back good, because I haven't smoked since fucking smoked weed. Let me just clarify, I don't do any hard drugs. No hard drugs. I haven't smoked since June, when I had my surgery, so I have no problem. That shouldn't be a problem, unless by some fucking weird act of, fate or bad luck, something comes back. Hopefully it doesn't, knock on wood. Let's see, what else? Also, man, I had to, along with the events of today, it was a busy fucking day, but I will say this, it was a beautiful fucking day today so far, and it's only 3 o'clock. It's 10 minutes after 3, and this morning has been a fucking beautiful day, man. If you've been outside at all today and you happen to look up at the sky, I personally, I love to look up at the sky. Like, I don't know how, for lack of a better term, gay that makes me sound, but, nothing against gay folks. There's nothing gay about it. And when I say gay, I don't mean sexuality. I just mean circumstantial gay. I don't know if that's what you would call it, but I like looking up at the sky, man. It's fucking, it's a thing of beauty, man. It's like a painting. That's the best way I can describe it. It's like some painting that you can look at if you just happen to look up. You look up at it all the time. So, the sky was it was a beautiful day today. The sky looked like something out of Toy Story. There's fucking clouds. There's an abundance of clouds, but there was blue sky behind them, man. It looked like a Toy Story, the movie backdrop. Beautiful day. But my registration sticker, the sticker on your windshield, that shit was due. This month was the last month that it's good, so I had to do that shit. And, I've been riding dirty, and thankfully I didn't get pulled over without it, but I've been riding dirty without car insurance, man. Just, because it's so expensive, bro. And that's what I want to get into, because I had to go get that bitch renewed. I had to get some car insurance yesterday, and, man, that bitch was $497 to start it. And then it's $370 a month. Like, man, I'm going to charge you an arm and a leg, literally, for this shit, bro. And it is a lot of money, but when they explain to you why the price is what it is, it all makes sense. So at first I was like, God damn, bro, like, what are you fucking talking about? Like, it's $500 almost, and almost $400 a month. I was like, what the fuck? I was, I got visibly upset. But then I asked, why the fuck does it cost so much? And they tell me that the factors that go into the cost was like, because he asked me for my zip code. I was like, why the fuck do you need to know my zip code to give me car insurance? And, he explained to me that where you live affects the price, because, like, if you live by a major intersection and there's a lot of fucking car accidents that happen there, or also, like, the area code where your car is, if there's a lot of theft and vandalism and crime in that neighborhood, that's why they need that information. Then he said, among other things, the year of your car, the make and model of your car, the price. The price can be up or down. Determined on those factors. That also increases or decreases the price. And sure enough, my car, I got it when it was brand new in 2021. And ever since like 2000 and let's just say like 2019 and 20, cars just the price of cars went up, and the money that goes into making these cars, these bitches are expensive. And mine's a Nissan, and I guess they're not the most expensive cars, but the newer it is, that goes into how much your car insurance, that determines how much your car insurance costs as well. Because the newer the car, the more up to date and high tech, if you want to call it that, the more technology that goes into these cars is required. Depending on the newer year model cars, there's a lot of money that goes into repairing all that shit. So, that stuff made sense, and all those things combined made sense. Like, because when you don't know these things, you just don't know. You're blind to it. You're just like, they tell you a price, and you're like, fuck, that's a lot. And but when they give you the story and the information about why it is that price, it makes sense. You're able to fucking I was able to calm down a little bit. I was like, oh well, you know what? Maybe I'll use that information like whenever I move. Excuse me, yawning. It's been a long day. I've been up since like 6 o'clock. So I'm a little bit tired after today's adventures. But I use that information to better equip myself with this knowledge next time I get insurance or whatever I have to renew, because like I said, it is a lot, but now I know why. There's that. Also today, like I said, I had to get that registration renewed. I took that bitch to the dealership, took the car to the dealership. I got my inspection done. I got an oil change, got my tires rotated, my filters fucking blown out, all that good stuff, maintenance on my car. I got all that shit done early. And then, I had a little bit of time to kill before I had to go from the dealership to the place to get my sticker. Right in the middle of those two places is the mall, the South Plains Mall. And sure enough, I went out there and I was, just hanging out a little bit. I was trying to find a new hat, or, if I could. And oddly enough, man, I have a small head, I think is what the guy said. So, like, a lot of the hats were, like, bulgy, and I don't like that shit. I like a hat that fits perfectly, and it's hard to find. Like, the hat that I have on right now is my Adidas hat, and I've had this bitch for some years now. And it's still in decent shape, but it fits perfectly. It's not too big on my head. It's not too small on my head. It doesn't make my head look too big or too small. But the guy said I had a small head. That's why I had a hard time finding a hat. So needless to say, I didn't fucking get a new hat today. What I did get, I'm a fan of shades, man. I like sunglasses. And I bought 2 pairs of sunglasses. And, I'm a fan of I like the edges, man. I don't like round sunglasses. I won't say I don't like them. Some of them are alright. I have a pair of sunglasses that are round-ish in shape, but I like the square look, the rectangle look. I don't know what fucking shape, but they got hard lines and edges, man. I like that shit. You'll see me posting pictures of those bitches sooner or later. So I bought 2 pairs of those bitches while I was at the mall. Also, what I like to buy at the mall when I'm there is I like to treat myself to a little treat sometimes, man. And the treat of choice that I chose is I like visiting the pretzel places, man. So you got, pretzels are good. It's not too heavy, but it'll fill you up if you eat a pretzel, and they taste good. So got me a pretzel while I was there. What else? After that, came home, picked up the wife. We went to have a little lunch, and today, like I said, I treated myself at the mall to a pretzel. I decided to keep the treats rolling because I was so proud of myself for getting all this shit done early and getting it done like I was supposed to, rather than staying home and just fucking the day off, sleeping and just being lazy at the house like we all like to do on our days off. So treated myself. We went to a steakhouse and had a steak lunch. Your boy had a big ass, fat ass, juicy ass, fucking 12-ounce ribeye and a fucking loaded baked potato, boy. And also, your boy treated himself to a margarita. And I'm not really a drinker, but I do enjoy a nice margarita. This margarita, however, it was a Patron dragon fruit margarita. It was those two things. The name was kind of rearranged. It sounded better than what I just said, but that's overall what it was. It was dragon fruit Patron margarita. That might have been what it was. I don't know, something like that. But it was too sweet, and it wasn't like the ice wasn't like blended. I guess it was just straight up ice. Like they just scooped it out of the thing and put it in the glass, and they just poured alcohol on top of it. And I don't know if you know this, but dragon fruit has a lot of seeds. I did not know that. I just thought it was going to be that type of flavor. But nah, sure enough, it was that flavor plus all the seeds. And it was... At first, I wasn't too big on it. But, the more you drink of it, it kind of like... It grows on you. So it was good. So I had that bitch with a fat-ass steak. And good lunch. It was a good time. Treated myself. So make sure to do that. After you get all your shit done, your obligations and your goals for the day... your to-do list done, man, treat yourself a little bit because you deserve it. You deserve it. And if you don't, fuck it. Just get it anyway because steaks are good. What else? So that's I think that's all I had. Well, so far today. I was going to go to the car wash, but I'll probably do that when the kids get off because the kids like to be in the car when we go do the car wash, So I'll probably wait to do that when they get out. And we'll go probably get like some ice cream or something like that. Do some dad type shit after the kids get out of school. So that's probably how I'll wrap my day up. Also, Jesus Louises, I'll probably end up taking a nap before the kids get out of school because I got about 2 hours until they get out of school. So I'll probably end up doing that because as you can tell, I'm yawning and I'm due for a nap. But I wanted to get this episode done and out of the way. I'm not used to because I still am in some aspects, but I like to procrastinate a lot. So not a lot, a decent amount. I procrastinate. We all do, but I'm trying not to do that. So whenever I got things to do, I'm trying to be better about doing them when they need to be done before I do anything else. So there's that. Let's go ahead. That's all for today. So let's talk about last week. Last week, put in 40 hours and change. It would have been like 47, but that was one day that I took off. I had somebody cover one of my shifts so I can go do that interview. So that took off about 7 hours, 7 or 8, give or take. So I finished with 40, which is still good. As long as I get my 40, I'm straight. You know what I'm saying? So put the 40 in, and a part of those 40 Saturday afternoon, which also was my son's birthday. So Saturday morning, we had a car show at my job. Like I said, I work in like a bar/restaurant environment, and they had car shows. In fact, there was some nice cars out there, man. Old school, new school, everything in between. Like there was some nice cars out there, and with the car show, attracted a pretty good sized crowd. Sure enough, man. Like I was busy all fucking day from the time we opened our doors till after my shift ended. I was there late. Like I was there like an hour, almost 2 hours late. Trying to catch up for the next guys because that's how busy I was throughout my shift. So Saturday was a fucking, man, I'm telling you, like it was a busy day. As you can tell, I'm still tired from it. And today's fucking Wednesday, so I'm still tired because it's Saturday. God damn. So, and like I said, so Saturday was also my son's birthday. He turned 7, and we let him choose what he wanted to do, and he chose to go to this place that we have here in Lubbock. It's called Blazing Bouncers. And, the kid, the big ass inflatables everywhere. And, kids can go out there and just jump. They're inflatable bouncy houses everywhere, man. So they fucking jump their little heads off. Sure enough, they did. He chose Slim Chickens for his birthday dinner. I don't know if you have Slim Chickens where you live. But here in Lubbock, chicken strips, fries type shit. Anything to do with chicken basically is what they serve. So he got himself a little chicken strip dinner and a Sprite, I think is what he chose to get to drink. So let him choose whatever he wanted. Did that, came back to the house, had some cake, and called it a night, man. So it was a pretty busy Saturday, to say the least. Getting into the next day, fucking Sunday, bro, we had more football. No. Backtrack. Saturday night, the Dallas Cowboys played that night, and What a game that was. Cowboys lost to the Chargers 26-19. Oh, Lord have mercy. Cowboys lost 26-19. Lance fucking threw. He put up his numbers where he threw 49 passes, completed 33, put up 323 yards, 1 touchdown, and get this, 5 interceptions. You heard me. I said he threw 5 interceptions. 5 interceptions is bad. But he still put up over 300 yards. So that's, I guess that kind of evens it out. But I think some of those interceptions, if I'm not mistaken, were for touchdowns. So I guess, still kind of on the negative side of things. Motherfuckers put up 93 plays for a total of 558 yards. Now, that's a lot of fucking plays. I don't know of a team that, I don't remember the last game I watched where they put out 93 plays. And, got 558 yards. That's a lot of yards. That's a lot of plays to still come out with a loss. I forgot to check the Chargers played total and their yards, but I think it was less, and they still won. So, and I think it was just the points on the Chargers. And like I said, they did score like 1 or 2 touchdowns on the defensive side of the ball, if I'm not mistaken. Also, I didn't know, and I thought I knew, but I didn't know, obviously, because I'm telling you right now. Lance's first name is Trey. It's Trey Lance, not Trevor Lance. Last week I called him fucking Trevor. And that was my mistake. But who gives a fuck? Because we don't like the Cowboys on this side anyway, so who gives a fuck? Fuck them. Fuck them in the ear. And then to end that game, fucking Trey Lance throws a fucking interception to win it would have won the game for them if they would have made it, but he throws an interception in their end zone to end that game, and the Chargers come away with that bitch 26-19 for the last game of preseason. Now, will they get it together? Who knows? Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But I tell you who did have a fucking solid fucking game. The Broncos in their win against Arizona 38-12. The man Zach Wilson had a big bounce back game from the previous weeks. It wasn't putting up big numbers. I think he had some touchdowns on the first 2 games. He didn't have a huge output. This game, complete opposite. One more yawn. Ooh. Nigga, I had to lean back in the chair to yawn. I had to get that motherfucker out. Zach Wilson comes back, 16 for 25, 251 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown, 1 passing touchdown, 2 rushes for 22 yards. Like I said, one of those rushes was for a fucking touchdown. 62 plays for a total of 377 yards. And, among other things, Zach Wilson, like I said, he had a good, solid fucking game that game. All the passes that you would expect a quarterback to make, he made. All the ones where your receivers were open, you got a clear shot to make a completion. Sure enough, he did. And one of those fucking plays was for fucking 46 yards. It's a 46-yard touchdown pass. It was like a fucking beauty. Like the defender and the receiver literally like intersected, and the ball got to the receiver like in like a split second before they intersected, and he lands in the end zone with that bitch. It was a thing of beauty. 46-yard touchdown pass. Zach Wilson had a big game, so that shit was fucking. It was nice to see, because I'll be honest, I was writing him off. Like I was like, he's probably not going to make the team this year, because of the first 2 games. But sure enough, he had a fucking solid game. Defense had an interception, taken back for a touchdown, 94 total yards from one end to the other. All things considered, all in all, Denver. They're looking like a solid fucking team this year. They had a solid preseason, and I am excited. I know not just me, but since I'm only me, I'm only going to speak for myself. But I'm expecting big things from the Broncos this year, especially the way that they looked in preseason. So we were 3-0 in preseason, and that doesn't necessarily mean that we will, be however many fucking games, 16 games maybe. I'm not sure. how many games they play. But not saying that we're gonna make it undefeated or have a good season. Like I said in my first episode, I'm a realist. We're not known for having a solid season. So this year is looking promising. I won't hold my breath. I'm hoping for a good year. I'm expecting a bad year, but no, I shouldn't say that. Hope for the best. Expect the worst. Hope for the best. Something like that. We look solid. Hopefully they keep the momentum rolling. They named Bo Nix the starting quarterback for Week 1. I'm excited to see how they do. As a squad going into regular season. I thought regular season started this Thursday, but it doesn't start this Thursday. It doesn't start till next Thursday. So this week, all the teams got a week off. They got a week off this week to practice, to heal up, whatever, get ready for another long season and hopefully a championship season on the Broncos' end. So it's going to be a slow week this week. No football. I don't think there's any major UFCs. I don't think that's till next weekend when the football season starts. So we're going to start with a bang. So we'll just get through this week the best that we can with no sports, football-wise. Oh, you know what? I think college football starts this week. So we got that to look forward to. I'm not really a college football fan. I like watching the highlights of all the teams. Obviously, being from Lubbock, Texas, I ride with Texas Tech. But I don't go out of my way to like follow all the college sports and shit like that. So I'll watch it. I'll glance at it when I'm at work while I'm working because we got all the football on, college football on Saturdays. I'll glance at it and shit, and I'll check it out, the highlights and stuff like that. But I'm not gonna go out of my way to fucking watch it. I don't bet on college sports. I just bet on the NFL. So we'll watch college this week. Get ready for football for NFL next week, and I can't wait for that shit to happen. Last but not least, is a little bit of a reading update now. One of my weaknesses, because you got to know your strengths and your weaknesses, and this is what this book is made me realize, is that one of my weaknesses is that I have a hard time reading. Not that I have a hard time reading. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Not that I have a hard time reading. I can read. I just get tired when I read. Like, reading makes me super sleepy. But how else are you supposed to know stuff unless you read? And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm trying to read so I can know things, especially things that will help me in my journey and my mission. So I started reading. I have 4 books that are part of the 4 Dummies series collection, whatever you want to call it. This book happens to be what I'm reading now is personal branding for dummies. So I'm trying to figure out what my personal brand is, so that way I can further my mission and my goals through my personal brand. So, reading that, my goal is to read a minimum of 10 pages a day. Obviously, if I can read more, I will, and I have. I'm actually ahead of schedule by like 2 days, so I'm already like 100 pages into this book, and like I said, I'm ahead of schedule, so I'm happy with that shit. You gotta read to know things, and that's what I'm trying to do. So that's a little bit of a reading update. What else we got? I think that was it for today and last week. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into some topics. First topic, man, and it's hard to even, because I don't like being a complainer, but some things they just really they chap my ass, you know what I'm saying? And one of the major things that I have a problem with is today's tipping culture, and it's more and more lately I've been seeing stuff about when tipping as it pertains to going out to eat. And the post that I always see is that if you don't have money to tip, you don't have money to go eat, which is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen. Like, how entitled do you have to be to write something like that? Like, my thought is, I'm not just because you're a waiter. Just because you're a waiter or a waitress, a server, doesn't mean I'm obligated to fucking change your life with a big tip. No homo. But you're not entitled to that. Just because you took it upon yourself to apply for a job that pays $2 and change and you rely on tips, I'm not obligated to fucking give you a life changing tip. And that's not how it works. Like, and don't get me wrong, like I tip anytime I tip anytime I go to eat at a restaurant where I have somebody bring me my food. I tip all the time. Like today, my tip, I went out to eat at the steakhouse and I left a good tip. I left more than the suggested amount. You know what I'm saying? If the service is good and the food is good, I'm gonna tip. I'm gonna tip accordingly. If the service is bad, I'll tip accordingly. Nonetheless, I will tip. So it's up to you how you want to get your money, right? Now, don't complain when your tip is small. Like I said, this is not slavery where somebody said, hey, you're going to be a server. You're going to wait on these fucking tables. Nah, nobody went to your house. These restaurants don't go to your house, pull you out the house and tell you you're going to wait tables at this place for a small hourly wage and whatever tip you happen to get. And I know that it's not all the time. Like sometimes people do leave good tips. Some people even leave great tips. But for the most part, people are going to leave like a small tip, but nonetheless, they will tip you. I don't know how it works, like how you got to split your tips among the kitchen and the bar, and then yourself. I don't know how that necessarily works, because like I said, I work in a bar/restaurant, and I work with a lot of women that are servers, and I get complaints all the time, like that they don't like their job, or they don't like how much money that they made for this table or that table and shit. Like I said, so why don't you get some skills and go fucking get a job that you're gonna make money that you're gonna be happy with, instead of complaining about it. Now, that is easier said than done. Trust me, I know. But you win some, you lose some. And sure enough, when I say when you win some of the times these girls getting fucking fat tips. Hey yo, and they make more in an hour they make more on a table than I do in an hour in most cases. That's not always the case, but most of the time that does happen to be the case. They make good tips. But when you don't, what the fuck are you gonna do about it? You win some, you lose some. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, get you some skills and go do something else. People aren't obligated to fucking change your life with tips. As blunt and harsh as that sound, but that's just the way it is. I'm not, I'm paying for the food of this restaurant. Why don't you be a fucking cook and make, fucking $10, $15, $16 an hour instead of $2 an hour and $5 on a tip or $10 on a tip? You know what I'm saying? You're guaranteed to make hourly pay if you go do another position in the restaurant aside from serving. So, I don't know. Just take the good with the bad is my advice, because it's not always good, but it's not always bad. You just got to realize that. Don't complain when you lose. Don't whine when it hurts. That's Gordon Gekko, Wall Street, 1987. Now, another thing about tipping, which really chaps my ass, is when you go to these restaurants, and you know what? It's a great example, because like I said, I was at the mall earlier, and I got a pretzel. And whenever you pay with a fucking card, they have the little, a lot of these places now that have the little screens that have where you can put like a custom tip, or you can put no tip. But, they already, in most of these places, make minimum wage, if not better. But they want a tip still. All you did, and like I said, this is perfect. This is an example that I'm giving because it happened today, but like, at the mall, you go up to the pretzel stand and they got the glass and they already have the pretzels already made. All the motherfucker did was grab what I ordered from the glass and put it on the counter and ring it up. He got the audacity to ask me for a fucking tip. Now, the pussy that I am, because I don't like, I just don't like confrontation in most cases. Not all of it, but when it comes to like nice people, I guess, I don't like confrontation because I don't know how to handle it. And I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. So when I say pussy, don't take it like I'm a fucking pussy, because I'm not a pussy. It's just when it comes to like hurting people's feelings, which I guess it still makes me a pussy. But, it was a guy too, but he seemed like a nice guy. He was very respectful. Nothing against him, but the audacity of these restaurants to ask you for a tip for doing very minimal work. And that was never the case. Like this time last year in All the years prior, that was never the case. And all of a sudden, motherfuckers want a tip for doing their job. Get out of them. Get the fuck out of here. The only time you should tip is for, wait staff, servers, and that type of shit. Bellhops. At hotels, the people that take your luggage to your room and stuff like that. Taxi drivers, all that, that type of stuff. But if all you're doing is fucking taking an item from point A to point B and you ain't even got to take a step, you kiss my ass. Like I said, I still left a motherfucker a tip. I think the lowest on there, aside from no tip, was $1. It was like $1.05. So I said, what the hell? Give him $1.05. And that was that. But, I just, the audacity of that shit. And that's not the first time that's happened. Like, I've been to, like, when I take my kids to get ice cream, and you pay with your card, there's ice cream shops, there's fucking pizza places when you go and you pick up your pizza, not even for delivery anymore. Like, delivery people, that's another thing that makes sense to tip. But when you have to go, not even when you have to, but when you choose to go into the establishment and to pay for your food and to pick it up, and they want to ask you for a tip, like, oh, that makes my balls fucking do what they do, whatever it is that they do. But it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel good. It makes me grip my teeth. And I hate it. Like, I hate what society is doing and what they're imposing on you for when you go out in public and you get something in an establishment. I don't know how else to put that, but it really makes me upset. But am I going to stop going? No. Am I going to stop tipping? More than likely not. But I'm going to give you the bare minimum. Fuck your dick. I don't give a fuck. However you feel, get you some fucking skills and go make some more money. I'm not obligated. I'm going to give you the bare minimum, especially if you do the bare minimum. Fuck your life. Gorilla Nims, Coney Island. Let's see. That was, oh, you know what? You know when else I'll fucking tip, as since we're talking about tips. So, like I said, I'll tip for good service. I'll tip extra for good service when the service is good. I'll also tip when my kids were younger, they used to make a mess. You put them in the high chairs and they, not throwing food, but they're dropping food off the table and stuff like that, or the kids having to knock some shit off the plate. You make a mess with the drink. I'll tip, extra for when that happens. And if we're in a big group, I make it a point to have, that we all pitch in to leave a good fucking tip. So, we're not cheapskates over here, but, a lot of places just have audacity to ask for tips when it's not warranted. And that really fucking chaps my ass with today's society. That's topic one. Let's get into something a little bit more lighthearted with our second tip. And cover your ears if you're not. I don't know. Fuck it. I don't know. Just cover your ears if you don't like this. But my second tip is pooping in public / at work. Now, we've all done it. We all do it. But I always feel like whenever I come out of the bathroom after I've fucking taken a poo, I feel like everybody's looking at me. Especially like, I'm like, I come out, I see them looking at me, and I'm like, do they know that I was in there fucking taking a dump? And, and it seems like they do, because I feel like they have this, there's a look that you get when you look at somebody who sees you coming out of the bathroom. Like, they're probably wondering about what you did in there. And if they saw you go in there, if they're fucking weirdos and they happen to see you go in there and they notice you were in there for a long time like a weirdo, they're like, oh, this motherfucker just pooped. This nigga got pooped, but, like, did he wash his hands? I wash my hands. I'm not gonna say I don't wash my hands. I'm not a fucking animal. But you just realize when people and I say you realize, you probably don't realize, and they probably don't even know. But in my head, I'm like, they know. Motherfuckers know I was in there. But like I said, I don't know why I feel so weird and out of sorts with it when everybody does it. It's just weird to think about whenever you do it and you're in that situation and you happen to meet eyes with somebody who saw you come out of the bathroom. So that's weird. Short and sweet on that topic number 2. Topic number 3. This gets into my travel adventures, because like I said, I've been to a few places. I've been lucky to, make it out of Lubbock to go visit, other major cities. And this week I'm talking about my 420 trip to Denver. And this was, is old news. It's not fake news, but it is news, and it's old. This happened back in 2022. It's like right after the the pandemic was coming to I wouldn't say a close, but it was like winding down. It had wound down, quite a bit, but it was around that time. So what it was like it was me and my brother from another mother. His name's Levi. Shout out to my boy Levi. One of my best friends. I've known him since fucking high school, and we went to. He's in a wheelchair too, and that comes into play during the other side, the back side of the story. So it comes full circle. But he's in a wheelchair, right? So I make it a point to take him to visit places. We make plans to go visit places so he can get out of his house and get out of his surroundings, because he doesn't do a whole lot because he's in a wheelchair. So he's stuck in the same spot for a long time, most of the time. So this one particular time, like I said, we went to Denver, and it was back when I smoked weed. And we made plans to go to a legal state for 420. Now that so it starts on the 18th, right? I had worked the same job that I have now. I had at the time, so I had worked a full shift, and I was working nights at the time. So it was from 4 to we closed at midnight. I didn't get out of there till about 2 a.m. So I worked a full night's shift. And it was a Monday, so it wasn't, like too busy. But nonetheless, it was a full shift. And I worked a whole shift that night, clocked out at 2 a.m., went back to the house, finished getting my stuff ready, and I took I don't even remember if I took a nap, but I probably didn't, because I was so anxious to actually get the trip on, to get the wheels rolling. And so the flight, we flew out of Lubbock at 5:30 a.m. So I think we left the house at like 4 a.m. So there wasn't a whole lot of time between when I got off to when we left for the airport here in Lubbock. So we got to the airport, checked in, went through security, all that good stuff, and the airport here in Lubbock is very small. Like this, it flies to all the major destinations, but it's a small airport. There's not a whole lot to do in these airports. There's not a whole lot of gates either. So the 2 times that I've flown out of Lubbock, it was the same gate. So I know that there's not a whole lot of gates to leave from here in Lubbock. It's a small airport compared to others, especially like I said, we flew out of Lubbock at 5:30. We flew to Dallas, and the Dallas airport is it's pretty fucking big. It's a big ass major city here in Texas. So we have a major airport, and that bitch flies to all over the world. Literally, you can fly anywhere from there. From Dallas. So we get to Dallas, and Dallas has a big ass airport, and it's fucking nice. And I found out I'm scared of flying, right? But I found out that I have this what is the word? I have this fascination and this love for airports and the stuff that's in these airports, because airports tend to be like high tech, especially all the ones that I've been to. Like they have a lot of high tech stuff in them, like the screens and the walkways and the transportation in these fucking places, top of the line, next level, high tech shit, right? So Dallas is no different. We get to Dallas, and it's like a mall, basically. It's like a mall that you can fly from, to and from. So we get to Dallas, we land there. We land at 5:30 a.m. and we're there till 8 a.m. That's when we fly from Dallas to Denver. And while we were there, at 8 waiting for the 8 a.m. flight. Like I said, I was up from 4 p.m. I was even up earlier than that the previous day. I probably got up at like noon the day before, stayed up until 4 p.m. until I got ready to go to work, got to work, worked the whole shift, got out of work, flew from Lubbock to Dallas to wait for the flight from Dallas to Denver. So I was up that whole length of fucking time. And I remember I started getting like this fucking terrible headache because, the lack of sleep, and I hadn't ate. And I chose to, for whatever reason, I chose to get pizza that morning. I got a Hawaiian pizza. The motherfucker had pineapple on it. It wasn't even Hawaiian. Like, it was Canadian bacon and pineapple, which maybe is Hawaiian, maybe it's not. I just thought Hawaiian meant it had pineapple on it. You can put it on whatever topping you wanted. Maybe it's Hawaiian, maybe it's not, but that's what I got. Canadian bacon and pineapple pizza that morning. And that also comes into play later on, is the Hawaiian pineapple pizza. But I got that. I got a donut and I got some coffee. And I didn't eat the donut, and I did drink the coffee, right? So it was coffee and pizza for that morning, which is just a terrible choice. It's a terrible combination. Pizza and coffee, like it's a terrible choice. Ate that bitch. Got a little bit of carbs in my system. Still no sleep. Time comes to fly from Dallas to Denver, right? It's like a 3-hour flight from Dallas to Denver. So I remember we flew to Denver, we got there, and I remember that airport compared to the Dallas airport is fucking next level. Like, the fucking, it's so big that they don't have to, but they have these things that help you get around faster, and it's these it's like an escalator, but it's flat. And it's just like it's a moving walkway is what it is. And, it's a long stretch of moving walkway, so you don't have to walk. You can save your fucking leg strength. Just it was next level. That was the first time I had seen that. And we get there, we take the moving walkways to get from one side of the from where we landed to the like area where they have this elevator system that goes down further under the airport to this like underground train system, like electric train, subway, whatever the fuck, I don't know what you call it, but it was underground. And I remember it was like a bullet train, man, because the bitch was fast. And all this stuff that I'm talking about, you can see there's a video of it on my YouTube. It's the 420 trip to Denver. And you see the train in that bitch, like, it really moves. Like, I guess trains are fast anyway, but this train was like fast as fuck. And you get there, you get underground, you get to this train, and it takes you to another part at the front of the fucking airport, the main entrance, I guess, if you will. And from there, we took the underground train to the front. From there, we took another train on the outside of the airport to downtown Denver, which was where we were going to start visiting dispensaries. Because, like I said, it was from 420. We were there for weed. So we get to downtown. I think the train ride was like 35, 45 minutes. It was quite a ride from like the outside of if you put it in quotation marks, the outside of Denver to downtown Denver. And that's the other thing too. Downtown Denver is like a fucking it's like a future city, man, like a futuristic city. Like, the buildings were they were just as nice as could be. They looked like they had just been built with a train system that runs in and around downtown area. So it's it was nice as fuck. So we get downtown, we get to our first dispensary, and I literally, when I say the dispensary was like catty corner from the train station, like, it was literally catty corner. Like, all we had to do was get to the other side of the platform, cross the street, and that bitch was right there. It's the first dispensary. And by this time, like I said, I'm on no sleep, very little food. All I had was caffeine in me. And all three of those was a mixture for madness. It was madness, I'm telling you. Like, I started feeling sick. My stomach started hurting. And I remember, like, we got into the dispensary, and I couldn't even enjoy it because I was feeling so sick. I remember sitting at the like by the front desk, the front counter, and like I got down, like I was what do you call it, squatting. Like, I was squatting with my back holding me up against the wall and holding my stomach, like trying to keep myself together. Like, it was coming down. It was going down, like, but it didn't go down. But I was feeling nasty, and it ended up passing for a short period of time, the sick feeling that I was feeling. So I was able to get through that. We scored a couple of strains from there. And from there, I think, if I remember... So from there, we ended up going to another dispensary. And same thing happened, man. It's like, just kept feeling fucking nasty. Just feeling this nasty feeling in my stomach. And I told my buddy Levi that I wasn't going to make it, man. Like, I had to lay down. I had to use the bathroom. I had to do a combination of both. And originally what we were going to do was we were just going to stay out all day. We were going to stay out all that day until that nighttime came around, and we were going to catch a bus from Denver to Pueblo. Colorado. And that's where we were going to stay the night, and we were going to wake up the next day and do some more 420 shopping and 420 smoking on 420. We're going to do it there in Pueblo. So we were going to stay up. I was going to just tough it out and stay up all fucking previous night, all day the previous day, all night the previous night, and pretty much all day the day of that we got there to Denver. I was going to try to tough guy that shit, man. But sure enough, hell no. That was not the case, man. So we caught a Uber to the nearest Motel 6, because Motel 6 happens to be like a budget motel, and it was like the cheapest thing that I could fit into my budget. And I just needed to fucking rest my eyes and use the bathroom, bro. Sure enough, we get to the Hotel 6, and I remember we got to the lobby of the Motel 6, and we got all our stuff. We got checked in. And as we were moving from the lobby to the hotel room, to the actual room, which was right across the parking lot, wasn't even 50 fucking feet. Oh man, this shit just hit me like a ton of bricks, and I fucking threw up right in the parking lot. I threw up all over the wall of the parking lot, and I threw up, in a parking spot, and I was defeated, bro. Like, I laid down literally right beside the pile of throw up, nasty. I laid down for like not even a minute. But like a crackhead, like I threw up and I just laid down right there in the middle of the parking lot. And I remember I looked up after I had laid down, because I laid down flat on my back, and I looked up on the second story, because Motel 6 has doors that are accessible to the parking lot, that face the parking lot. It's just, you walk up the steps and you're able to walk into your room right off of the parking lot. And I looked up on the second story, and there was a lady. It was a cleaning lady cleaning the room right above where I had thrown up. And she had saw the whole thing, and she was looking at me. And she looked away real quick when she saw me look at her, but I happened to see that she saw me. And man, I didn't give a fuck, bro, because like I said, I was defeated, bro. Not only had I thrown up because I was feeling sick from no sleep and very little food, and mixing it with caffeine at the Dallas airport, which is another story, man. I just have bad luck when it comes to Dallas, the Dallas Fort Worth area, and you'll find, I'll tell you the story about that in another podcast. But drinking that coffee there in Dallas, having that pizza, the no sleep. When I got to Dallas, we got to Denver, I was just defeated, bro, and it all came out, and sure enough, it kicked my ass. So my buddy Levi, he gets me off. He coaches me up to get me off the fucking floor to get into the hotel room, because the hotel room was literally like 3, 4, 5 more steps away from where I had thrown up. It was on the first floor. And man, I was never happier to see a bed, bro. We got into that hotel room, and we were only there, like, we booked it for the whole night. Obviously, you pay for it by the day / night. We paid for the whole day and the whole night. We stayed there at that hotel for maybe 4 hours, literally, like only like 4 hours. And but I needed it, bro. Like, I needed to close my eyes and get like a little power nap in. Sure enough, I did, man. We ended up sharing a bed, no homo. Like, he slept on one side, I slept the other way. And because he, being in a wheelchair, he's got to get off of his ass, or else he gets like pressure sores from being on his butt too long in his chair. So he had to get off as well. But it was more so because of me. Like I said, I was defeated, bro. I was fucked up, and took like a 2-hour power nap. And as soon as we got up, because like I said, we had a schedule to keep. We had to be back to downtown Denver to catch the bus to Pueblo. So I was only able to sleep that long. Got up. I think I rolled a joint, and I was right as rain, man. I was good to go. After I took that little power nap, man, we got up, got back out, and got some fresh air in us, and me more so, because like I said, I was fucked up, man. Like, I could not stress how fucked up I was from all the combination of things I told you. Rolled a joint. We ended up going to a convenience store right across the street from the hotel and got some electrolytes, man. I got like a Gatorade, I think is what it was. I think I got like 2 Gatorades and a water to Gatorade, and then some headache medicine, some Excedrins. And we went behind the gas station and we smoked that joint, because if you smoke on the hotel property, and they charge you, they fine you, they charge it to your room, and they got your credit card information, they charge you monkey ass. And I don't need that. I was on a budget. So we smoked at the gas station right behind it, and you could see downtown, the nice big ass buildings from where we were, And then if you look, and that was, right behind us. Downtown was behind us. And then if you look to the front of us, which was behind the Motel 6 where we were staying, you could see the Rocky Mountains off in the distance. And that's one of my favorite things to see. I'm a simple man. Like, I just need a good view, and I can have a good time. And sure enough, man, we were sitting in that parking lot, smoking a joint, and you could see the Rocky Mountains off in the distance, and everything was just in the fresh air and shit, bro. Like, it all just, I was good to go after that. At that point, I was, back in the fucking game, so to speak. And yeah, we smoked that joint in that parking lot. And obviously, you work up an appetite when you get high, or you work up an appetite when you get high. And I hadn't had any real food in me, other than that pizza. I hadn't had any real food in me, and I had my appetite came back after I threw that fucking pizza up. Like, my stomach was good to eat something, so. We went back to the hotel, and right in front of the hotel, it was like a diner, I guess you could say. Like, they served, morning food, breakfast all day type shit, and, other food among, hamburgers, chicken strips. I think they even had, like, Mexican food, it's always weird to see a Mexican restaurant in any other state that's not really known for Mexicans. Like, when you think of Denver, Colorado, the first thing you don't think of is Mexicans. You don't think of that when you think of Denver, Colorado, but that's what they served there. But I didn't get the Mexican food. I think I ended up getting, like, the simple, breakfast platter, eggs, ham, waffles, hash browns type shit. And sure enough, man, I put that shit down and I was good to go. I ain't had no problems holding it down. Got back to the hotel room, scheduled the Uber, went from Motel 6, like I said, for 4 fucking hours, and we paid full price for that bitch, like $100, and only used it for 4 hours. Go from the hotel all the way back downtown, and it's always nice driving into the downtown area anywhere, man, because I feel like that's where that's where these cities put money into, is their downtown areas. Very nice. Like I said, if you watch the video, you see what I'm saying, man. Like, the buildings, the business buildings, the fucking apartment buildings, the condos, all that type of shit, the railway system. There's a stadium, Coors Field, I think is down there in the downtown or around the downtown area, and you can see that bitch from the drive-in. And Union Station, which was where we were headed to catch that bus. But we got back downtown, and we hit another dispensary, and ended up scoring some Durban poison. And that, when I used to smoke, and I'm pretty sure I'll end up smoking again at some point down the road. Right now, like I said, I'm trying to make my step to the next level earnings-wise, and that's what my CDL is for. But I can't smoke because of that. But as soon as I do that and I get ahead, I'm going to start smoking again once I get to the next chapter, which we'll discuss at a later date. But I will smoke again. But my favorite strain was always Durban Poison. If you ever smoke Durban Poison, you know that shit smells like red, like a plump red flower. Like, it just smells delicious. And I ended up getting an ounce from there. And after we left that dispensary, like I said, we still had some time to kill, so we went to Union Station, and they got like a bunch of restaurants, and they had a couple of bakeries and a high-end bar, and this nice seating area and stuff like that was in there. Just doing some sightseeing around the downtown area, and we ended up, to kill some time, we started smoking some of that Durban Poison that we bought, that I bought, because that was mine. That was my personal stash. Waiting for the bus ride, we along the streets too, like, cause it's a real nice area downtown. But they have nice benches right off the street, and a lot of it is like it's like residential area. It's a lot of apartment complexes, if you want to call them that. They were too nice to even be called complexes. They were just apartments. Big high-rise apartments just right all around surrounding you. So we found a bench. We sat right off to the side of the street. I literally broke up some weed right there on the bench and rolled another joint. And, me and Levi, we just fucking sat there and shot the shit, taking in the scenery, the atmosphere, just, enjoying being in a legal state, enjoying the good taste of the Durban Poison, right there on the side of the street, literally. And like I said, like when I say right on the side of the street, I don't know if you can picture like how out in the open that is, but if you watch the video, you can see, man, like it was it was a thing of beauty. It was simple. Like I said, we just sat there, man, and just, chilled out, talked, smoked some weed, saw the passerbyers, all the nice architecture in the buildings around. Like, I'm a sucker for a nice looking building. Like, that's what I enjoyed about going to New York, was all the nice buildings. We didn't go in none of these fucking buildings, but when you look at them, they're just nice to look at. It was just a nice atmosphere, it was a nice vibe, and like I said, we just got high out there and we smoked, got that joint smoked, killed the time. Then it was time to catch the fucking Greyhound, which is sketchy as fuck. Any Greyhound that I've ever been to is kind of sketchy, and it seems like minorities are the only ones that ride Greyhounds. Because even being in Denver, there's a lot of Mexicans, and I am Mexican. I'm Mexican American, Hispanic, Latino, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of them on the bus, and the reason I know that is because you hear all the Spanish, and I'm talking about like Spanish-speaking motherfucking Hispanics. I don't really speak a whole lot of Spanish. In fact, I speak very little. So but you're able, I know that that's what they were fucking speaking. And the Greyhound there in Denver, where the buses load, it's like an underground parking lot, so it's even more sketchier. And when you get in there, you see a bunch of people who are just like, they look strung out, and they look how I looked whenever I was fucking hurting off that pizza and coffee and no sleep combo. Like, I was fucking hurting. That's how they looked. That's how almost everybody looked. And everybody's like sitting on the floor with their backs against the wall, and everybody's waiting for these buses, and they got they just, a bunch of bags around them. Like, wherever they're traveling, wherever they're going, they just got all their fucking stuff with them. It's kind of hard to fucking, it's a harsh thing to see. I wouldn't say harsh, but it's something to behold, man. Like I said, nighttime comes, we catch the fucking bus. I think the bus ride, it was at 9 p.m. that night, and we got to Pueblo at like 2 in the morning, 1 or 2 in the morning, something like that. It was like a little overnight ride to Denver, after dark sets in. And as soon as we get to fucking Pueblo, we get to another Motel 6, because like I said, it's the budget. That's the budget hotel for the players out there who ain't got a lot of money to spend on a nice hotel. But it's a decent hotel. Got to the Motel 6 there in Pueblo, and I'm telling you, man, like, that shit was sketchy, bro. Like, there's like, I don't know if they were on crack or meth or heroin or what, one of those hard drugs, but there's a lot of fucking like Walking Dead motherfuckers around that hotel that we stayed at. Being the Motel 6 there in Pueblo, Colorado. We checked in, we got to our room, and locked those motherfucking doors, bro. Like, it was so sketchy, that area. Like, at first, so we got there, and I think we ended up smoking again. We rolled another joint, and we were gonna try to, like, there was a McDonald's right around the corner, and usually McDonald's are 24 hours. Some of the McDonald's were 24 hours, so we tried to get to the McDonald's. There's a couple of buildings away from the hotel, but nothing. It wasn't open. The gas stations weren't open. Nothing. But on the way there, like on the sidewalk, there was literally like people sleeping on the fucking sidewalk. And there was one, like, there was a guy literally smoking a meth pipe. You know what those meth pipes look like? They got the little ball at the end, and when you light it, you got to twist it and turn it. And the only reason I know about that is because I watch a lot of Vice. I had watched a lot of Vice, and I used to know a guy who smoked meth at one of the jobs that I used to work, so I know what it looked like, and that's exactly what they were doing, literally right on the side of the street, right in front of a gas station that wasn't well lit. Like, it was a pretty rough side of town, or so it looked like at night, because after so we spend the night there, you wake up the next morning, and it was like a completely different area, man. Like, it was a thing of beauty, man. Like, it was a beautiful morning. Nobody was out on the streets. Like, you couldn't see anybody. I guess the motherfuckers went underground or something, like all the crackheads or whatever. It was completely different. It was a fucking complete 180 from the night before, which that day happened to be 420. And where it comes in that my homie's in a wheelchair. We didn't take like Ubers. We were saving money, by not taking Ubers, and we packed all our stuff, and we left the hotel, and we went to like 2 or 3 different dispensaries, within the area, and all of it, by foot, hoofing it on my homeboy with his wheels, but me, I was pushing him most of the way, pretty much all the way. So we did all that shit with no taxi, no Uber, nothing like that, and it was quite a mission. It was an adventure, I'll tell you that. Like I said, we hit like 2 or 3 different dispensaries. We scored a whole bunch of shit, and we had time to kill again. So, and the plan was we were gonna fucking take the bus back from Pueblo back to Texas that same day. So we were gonna get high there. And when you say get high, it kind of sounds like hard drugs, but we were gonna smoke our weeds all day leading up to the time of the bus ride. And sure enough, yeah, we hit one dispensary first, and then we hit a smoke shop that was like right in the same shopping center, and bought this little bitty water pipe, and literally, it was like a 6-inch water pipe. It was very small, little bong, and did it like Pineapple Express. We went behind the building, and we bought a water bottle. We went behind the building. We put water in it, and started smoking bowls right behind that building. Like I said, same thing. It's all on my vlog on my YouTube. So you can check that shit out. Ended up getting high. Ended up going to like 2 more dispensaries after that, and then from there we went to the downtown area of Pueblo, which is also pretty nice. They have like a river that runs through downtown, and they got like a river walk type area. It was very nice. Same thing. It's in my video. You can see a little portion of it. Smoked down there. Went to a little like pizzeria. It was like an Italian restaurant, I think, more so. But they served pizza. Obviously, that's what but we got there. We did that. Killed some more time. Came back out. Smoked some more weed, and killed time all the way until I think it was like 6 o'clock in the evening, and then we caught the bus back to Texas also. But there's a part of the video too. We trying to smoke literally right before the bus got there, and there's like an old factory right beside or right around the corner from the Greyhound station. Closed down factory. It looked like a big ass, looked like the one in The Simpsons where Homer works at. Like, big ass factory, but it was closed down. It looked like it was abandoned and shit. And there was somebody else out there in the parking lot smoking too. And we no car, not like that. We just found a place on the sidewalk, like some crackheads, and broke the bong out. We had this resin infused joint, and we we had some good smoke sessions out there for 420. And while we were doing that, man, up comes some geese. And threw me off, bro, because we hadn't seen the geese nowhere, but it was in the around the river walk. You could see the river. You could throw a rock into the river from where we were sitting, where the factory was, but we hadn't seen the geese. And the geese came out of nowhere, and they started walking up to us. And my homeboy says, we heard about you. We heard about your trouble. He said, "Get the hell on!" He said some funky ass shit to him. It was pretty funny. That shit sticks with me. It was a big ass geese. I was attacked by some geese as a kid, so I don't have fondness for geese. That's why I remember the geese so vividly. So it was a successful time, and then the ride back to Texas took like fucking 12 hours or something like that. It was all day, all night type of trip. Them Greyhounds fucking take all day to get you back where you're from. But we made it work. Like I said, my homeboy being in a wheelchair, it was quite an adventure. And I think that was his first time out of Texas as well. First time flying, first time to another state, especially a legal state, because here in Texas, you just buy your weed from somebody who says that they get it from a legal state. You got to take it with a grain of salt. But this is his first time being out of state, going to these places, flying to another place, and taking the Greyhound back, because like I said, he has to get out of his chair every so often, so that way he doesn't get pressure sores. But not on the ride back, man. He was in that bitch all day, and I'm pretty sure it was uncomfortable for him. But we made it work. Mission success. Is our first time out of Texas. And again, if you want to watch the the highlights of the trip, it's there on my YouTube. It's under the Travel Adventures of Jamie the Conqueror, the playlist. It's the 420 in Denver video. So make sure you check that out if you want to see what that's like. It looks a lot better. It visually looks a lot better than the way that I can explain it, because this was, like I said, like 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago. that this happened, so I try to explain it the best way that I remember it. And one of the next episodes, not the next one, but probably a couple more down the road, I also have my Las Vegas, my Dirty 30 in Las Vegas videos when I turned 30 years old. Levi had just turned 30 a couple of months before, but we were both 30, and we wanted to go to Vegas to celebrate, and we did. So that's coming next. So, but check out the 420 in Denver. Go ahead and get yourself acquainted with the Vegas video, because I'm gonna break that down. That was also a good experience. That was fun as fuck. Second trip out of state for my boy Levi, and it was a good time. So if you're into those travel vlog type things, go ahead and get into those. The music is when I'm still a rookie, a novice, as it pertains to video editing and vlogging and the music in the videos and all that type of stuff. So the music's a little bit, I wouldn't say overbearing, but it's kind of repetitive. The videos are kind of like long. They're not long, but they're longer than like 5 minutes. I think it's like 5. It's over 5, but less than 10 minutes. So the music kind of gets a little repetitive. So, bear with that. I'm still, like I said, a novice in that. And you'll see the progression in the other vlogs that I have to put out. Because I've been, to a few other places since then. I just have yet to post those because I started doing this Jamie's Day Off podcast. So, check those out. Leave a thumbs up if you like. Leave a comment, whatever. But that's, let me see. Let me check my notes. Beepity boop bop. I believe that's all for this week. Like I said, everything that's happened this week. So, I guess that's it for this week, episode 3. I look forward to talking to you guys again next week, seeing how your week is going, checking in on you. With that being said, I'll talk to you next week here on Jamie's Day Off podcast. Until then, have a great week. Peace.